8-2, we did all the 30, 60, 90 triangles and the 45, 45, 90 triangles. What is this bottom edge in terms of L? It's L, right? This is your L side. What is the vertical edge in terms of L? L rad 3. Is it because the one's on bottom and the one is vertical that they are L and L rad 3? No, it's whatever is across from the 30-degree angle is your L side. Whatever's across from the 60 is L rad 3. And then what is the hypotenuse? 2L every time.
Wait a minute, whatever's across from what?
Across from 30 is L. Across from 60 is L rad 3. And then the hypotenuse is 2L. Yeah, Nolan.
Those two, like one shorter than the other.
The shorter one is L, the longer one is L rad 3. Yeah. Okay, in the 45, 45, 90, these are both L. What is the hypotenuse? L rad 2. Okay, so let me just give you a couple of these to see if you remember the shortcuts and the process if you don't remember the shortcuts. Let's say I give you that the hypotenuse of a 45, 45, 90 is 18. How do you solve for x? It's not 9. It's 9 rad 2. Okay, so here's the deal. You can either cut it in half and multiply by rad 2, so 9 rad 2, or we know this is the L rad 2 side. So if we set that equal to L rad 2, 18 equals L rad 2, we're just going to divide by rad 2, and then we're going to multiply by rad 2 over rad 2. So 18 rad 2, on top, rad 2 times rad 2 is 2, and that reduces to 9 rad 2. So you can do the process, do the math, or you can take the shortcut. You're going to get the same thing. Okay? What if I give you a 30, 60, 90, and I give you that this side is 20? What is your shorter leg? 10. Here's your 60. Sorry, I should have given you angles. This is half of it, so 10. What's your longer leg? 10 rad 3. Okay, what if I give you this 30, 60, 90, and I tell you that this length here is 4? What is this length? 4 rad 3. And what is this length? 8. Double it. Okay. What if I give you a 30, 60, 90, and I tell you that this side is 15? What is L? What is X? No. If L was 15, then X would be 30. But this is your L rad 3 side. So you can either set this equal to L rad 3, which means you're going to divide by rad 3 and then multiply by rad 3 over rad 3, right? So you have 15 rad 3 over 3, which is 5 rad 3. Remember, this one was the same type of shortcut. If it's 15, you divide by 3 and multiply by rad 3. The other one, you divide by 2 and multiply by rad 2, right? So if this is 5 rad 3, then what is X? Double it, right? 10 rad 3. Okay, so that was 8-2. 8-3, tell me which trig function you would use if I gave you...
Wait, you have to put 10 rad 3 below the top, and it says 2L, so it's just doubling L, but it didn't say anything.
Right, the rad 3, it's like saying 5 apples is double this 10 apples, right? This is like almost like a label, because you can't multiply it by a whole number. Okay, which trig function? This would be sine, opposite, and hypotenuse, right? SOHCAHTOA. Write it down at the top of your test so that you know it, okay? So this would be sine 41 equals x over 10. And how do you solve that? Multiply both sides by 10. So you get this, 10 sine 41, okay? What do you do with this one? This is 62. This is x, and this is 5. Which trig function? It's not tan.
Sine.
It's not sine. It's cosine, right? You have the adjacent and you have your hypotenuse. So it's going to be the cosine. And what always comes after the trig function? The degree. How many degrees your angle is. So cosine 62 equals 5 over x. But now x is in the denominator. What do? You multiply by x on both sides. And then you divide by cosine 62 to get x by itself. So you're plugging in 5 divided by, this is gone now, 5 divided by cosine 62, okay? What do you do with this one?
Tan.
That's tangent, so it's the tangent of what? X equals 8 over 10, right? The angle always goes with the trig function. How do you solve for an angle?
You do the inverse.
Are you sick of me asking you that yet?
Yes.
So inverse tan of 8 over 10, that's what you would plug into your calculator. Okay? Hi there. What do we do? 8, 4.
Just one student checked out
Is that going to be you?
I'm just asking just one.
Yeah, I mean, that one's already gone, so. There's more than one checked out right now.
Oh. So it's just like oh,
Oh, I didn't know
All right, I want to know how tall that building is, and this is the scenario. So his eye level is at 6 feet, looking up an angle of elevation of 37 degrees. How tall is that building? What is x?
Tan.
You got to use tangent, right? We got to start by finding this. We'll call this y for now, okay? That's just this piece of it, the y. So to find that, you're going to say tan 37 equals y over 19, multiply by 19. So you would plug in 19 tan 37 for this piece. But what is x in comparison to that? Plus 6, right? This piece of it is 6 feet because that's how tall he is at eye level. So whatever this came out to, you need to go plus 6 and give that as your answer. Okay? And then there was law of sines, and then there was law of cosines. I feel like we've done both of those today, but I'm happy to do more if you want one or the other. Anybody want a particular?
Not about that.
Yeah.
Can you scroll up, because I had a question. I think it was, for like max a little more.
More higher?
Yeah. Or like like the one that's like OC equals all that too. Why isn't it just like, or why don't you add the rad T? Is it because it's already given as a number?
18, like they're telling you the length of this side is a whole number. It's 18. We know that side represents the L rad 2 side of the triangle. So that L rad 2 has to be equal to 18, which means in order to figure out what we multiplied by rad 2, you have to get rid of the rad 2 and get L by itself. Does that make sense? If you have a whole number here, then this has to have a radical in it. If you have a radical here, then this probably doesn't have a radical in it. Yeah. You're welcome. Any other questions?